Evening, Gooners. Welcome to the channel. We are previewing the Aston Villa game. Arsenal versus Aston Villa at the Emirates. What a game that is going to be. I'm crapping my pants already. I'm not going to lie. Look, Aston Villa on a winning streak. They're 11 straight wins. They've just beat Chelsea 2-1 last minute. So it's not going to be an easy game, but we're going to break it down for you. We're going to get into it. Please smash a like on the video. Please subscribe. We're far away from our target of 300. We would much appreciate it if you're new around here to hit that button. That'd be great. Helps the channel out. And yeah, let's get into it. Good evening, lads. How we doing?
Good evening.
Evening, mate. You all right?
Well, this is do you know what? Brighton was good, right? We nicked 3 points. It wasn't comfortable. It was comfortable, but we made it uncomfortable, right? So I'm just hoping that we have a solid performance. We'll get into the starting 11 that Wayne's predicted. But yeah, how are we feeling about this game? Wayne, go on, so you can start us off this evening.
Yeah. Good evening, lads. I'm not overly concerned, to be fair, mate. I don't mean that in overconfident state. I don't mean that in thinking that we're going to absolutely batter them. But I think it's long overdue that we do kind of turn up at the Emirates and and show what we're made of. Whether it is tomorrow night is another thing. But yeah, listen, mate. There's a few players that need to turn up, and I think that's vitally important. Again, for me, that's a personal opinion that's reflected in his starting 11. I would go with something else, but I think he's still going to go with his starting 11 that I've predicted. I still think, like I said previously, that to get the best out of Gyökeres, you're going to need someone like an Eze behind him or a support striker at this moment in time to kind of have someone to play off to give him some more confidence. The boys struggling, but I think it's what a game for Gyökeres to kind of silence a few doubters and some critics, mate. To put the ball in the back of the net tomorrow night, So I'm keeping the faith in that tone. I think it's vitally important that these lads kind of get behind each other. I mean, listen, we got a new striker. We've still got quality players around the team. It's not so much let's get Gyökeres firing or whatever. The most important thing is we win football matches. The fact is, whether we just our strikers not scoring the goals, we're still winning. It's not like he's missing glaring opportunities like Havertz has done, like Nketiah has done. He's not done it when the push comes to shove. We haven't got to a vital point of the season yet, boys. But this is a vital game. So this is where you look at it and go, can he be the difference? And that is a good question. But I think obviously it's the confidence of the players around him, mate, that will decide the game. Can Saka kind of raise that level? And yeah. I think it's vitally important we get at them and get at them quick, boys, tomorrow. And one thing I want to say about that, though, is we can't get at them, go 1-0, because Villa always, he lets team comes on. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea were more likely thinking and naively thinking, we've got this game here, so like Villa are not on it. Bring Watkins on. Ollie Watkins changes the game. And that's his game plan. So we've got to be vitally careful. We've got to be careful of how we approach it, because you can, do you go overly cautious? And does he tell Emery coming in? Emery's not going to want to come at us because he's got a game plan currently, and that's on transitions, hitting teams when they're tiring or whatever. We don't want to be battering them, but not scoring the goals, Tone. So vitally important. If we're going to go 2-0 up, I think he'll have to play and he could open up spaces. That's the thing. We have to get goals, and I think it'll be tighter because I think Arteta's going to play a bit more cautious, really. So that's my take on it, mate.
Cool, Dave. How are you feeling about tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think that we can definitely give them, if we can give them a good game and we can score some goals against them, I think that puts us in a good stead to give a little message back to the rest of the league. Because there's been a slight little narrative change over the last couple of weeks, because City have been playing better, not conceding as many goals lately, scoring more goals like for fun. They keep on seeming to getting last minute winners. So I think a good performance here and a few goals scored could actually put us in good stead for the rest of the season, confidence wise for our squad. The game itself, Villa, as we've alluded to in previous streams, they've picked up a couple of cards, a couple of suspensions. They've got options in the midfield and up front, but it's their defence what they haven't got a lot of options in. So it looks like they're going to have to do a little bit of a jiggly around in the back line, the right back and all that. So that may stand us in good stead. To be honest with you, if they had their full squad and we had our full squad, I think we'd beat them anyway. So I'm not really worried about that per se. Last time we played them a couple of weeks ago, we didn't have Saliba or Gabriel. You know, we had a pretty much makeshift back four that hadn't played together all season long, you know. So in that regard, no, I think bring it on. It shows where we are as well at the moment as well, you know. So good. But look, there was a test earlier on in the Champions League. Bayern Munich come to our ground and they were unbeaten. They were flying high, best team in Europe, scored the most goals, this, that, and the other. Mate, we absolutely we scored them off the pitch that day. So let's hope another performance like that'll keep a few people quiet then, you know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, we're good. We're
What's up, mate?
how you feeling about tomorrow's game? Let us know. Good evening. Look, I think well, as Emery says, good evening. Oh yeah. Look, I think that tomorrow's game is absolutely massive. And I think you're right, Dave. I completely agree with both your takes on it. How we start is going to dictate the game, right? I'm fortunate enough to be going to tomorrow's game, and you know the atmosphere is hopefully going to be rocking at kickoff, right? And what Emery's going to try and do is going to try and shut us up very quickly and try and frustrate. Martinez is very good at doing that, by the way. He's very good at frustrating the Emirates crowd. Whenever he comes to the Emirates, he's very good at frustrating. So I can see them looking to frustrate us in the first 20 minutes. If it's 0-0 at 20 minutes, they'll be happy. Back to what you said about Eze, Wayne, I do think that we need to try to get Gyökeres involved in this game, right? It can't be just be chasing shadows. We've got to be, you know, getting in the right channels, and we've got to be feeding them correctly, giving them the opportunities. The fact that, given that Gabriel's back, gives me a lot more confidence. I'm not going to lie. Even if Calafiori's got a late fitness test, we'll go through your starting 11 soon, Wayne. But even if MLS is in left back, but you got Gabs and Saliba and Timber coming back at that, I'd be quite comfortable with that, because I know that MLS will give us something going forward.
I'd argue Nkapie at left back, Tone.
Nkapie, yeah, he might actually. Joe, what, he probably will trust Nkapie a lot more, because I think MLS can be a bit reckless at times. So I think that trust will go in Nkapie.
We've had conversation. We've alluded to it, haven't we? And with MLS, and that's the thing, mate. It's at the moment the boy's kind of had his confidence rocked by the fact that he's not been starting while he was playing Champions League semi-finals and being relied upon because of our injury crisis, you know. And someone said as well that maybe Arteta doesn't like what I keep saying about him being a left eight, and he said, maybe he doesn't sort of like, you know, trust him fully defensively yet, you know. And the boy's got to have every opportunity. He's going to have plenty of opportunity to play, Tone. I think I liked what I see. It's only a little cameo, but I like what I see from Nkapie at left back. So if Calafiori, I heard though, it's something a little bit more personal with Calafiori that we've all been through. So it could just be that he will be playing, just, you know, make sure he's all right sort of thing. But it could just be an illness or something like that. So let's see, boys. But yeah, if I'd be very interested, especially if Big Gabs is back. You got to put him in. We don't overly risk him, but we can't.
Just on the Big Gabs, right? Did you see in the game where he come on against Brighton? Did you see how Brighton absolutely crapped their pants when we had a corner?
Yeah.
That presence from set pieces will be back. That's what I'm really happy about. Like, I'm not saying, fuck it, set piece F's, who cares, right? If we beat Aston Villa 3-0 and we scored 2 corners and an outfield goal, who cares? Who cares, right? It's another
if it comes
danger.
on someone's backside, Tone, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you score, as long as you score, as long as you win these games, right? And tomorrow's game, we have to win it. I think a draw puts Man City in the ascendancy to go top of the league, and we don't want to be in that position where we're chasing down City. I've said it. I said it before Christmas in November, October. If City go in front of us, they've got the experience and nous to stay where they are. I know Wayne, you're like, well, you know, they've still got some tricky fixtures. I do agree with that, but I just think the experience that Guardiola's got in them positions, I think they will be really. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's going to be really difficult to get back. Yeah, starting 11. Yeah, we'll get into it. You're very similar to what Wayne's picked. We'll go through that very shortly, buddy. But yeah, definitely a strong lineup there. Definitely the back four there. yeah. Should we go into the starting 11? Should we just get?
Yeah, go for it.
going?
And then obviously we can discuss it as well. Yeah, with a comment. Yeah.
Cool. Let's get going. Cool. So look, I think that that's probably the starting 11 is going to go with. I think the last comment brought up, Eze, he's not involved in this team at the moment, right? And I think Havertz is probably going to be he's going to be on the bench, so you probably see a cameo from him.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, he's got a few options now, which is good. My question is going to be though to you, gents. I know Wayne, Are we thinking with our hearts a little bit with Gyökeres? Is he going to be tempted not to start Gyökeres for this game and put Jesus in just for that quick fire play? With Martinelli, I don't think he starts. I think he goes with Trossard because he trusts Trossard on that left.
Trossard and Moreno. That's probably who we end up playing.
Well done, Dave. I want to say exactly. I agree with that. What I was saying, Tone. Is you got to realise with one thing, especially at the Emirates, that Emery comes in and manages to just pull off. He could go to Man City, get battered 3-0, but he can come to us and he knows how to play. We've won at Villa Park, but we haven't beat him a lot. He sets up with us, and it's very rarely that we can get through. Don't be surprised if he kind of goes, right, well, Emery might be expecting me to play Gyökeres. Because the one thing about Jesus, like I say, is Jesus can hold the ball up brilliantly. He links play. He's fantastic when he comes on. He doesn't pressurise the centre halves, so we naturally drop back. What he's going to want to do is, if Havertz ain't fully fit, and what Dave's just said, he might want to go, right, well, if I'm going to hit, I'll have Gyökeres just take him out of the firing line. This is a personal opinion. This is the starting lineup I'd play, by the way, boys, but a personal opinion on what Dave's just said, and to reiterate it, he could go with it, Tone, where he thinks to himself, right, if I have someone like a Moreno as a false 9 and hit him with a Trossard, Ødegaard, Saka for the first 50, 60 minutes and change it up, because he wants Emery, he's going to want Emery to come out, because Emery's game plan, like I said earlier in the stream, is to allow, he doesn't come out of traps quick. And like he did at Chelsea, mate, he'll go, right, coming in. Maybe he's trying to play a game with him, but I hope he goes with. If Gyökeres for the pressing tone, that's the only thing. He's not in the greatest of form, but to pin him back. But it's vitally important that if we're going to play that way, we've got to put the goals in the back of the net. So yeah, this is why I've gone with it. The commenter changed it with Eze on the left. I was thinking that. My thing is, personally, again, it's more than either he can cut it from the left. You need to get. I think Eze is the one that could help to unlock Gyökeres. But I don't think he won't. He's not going to go for it. And like you say, Tone, could be Trossard. I'm going for Martinelli to hit that space at right back, because Cash ain't in.
Yeah, because the way Martinelli played against Crystal Palace, that direct running, right? If he's going to be doing that this game, then I think whoever's playing at right back at Aston Villa, they're going to be in trouble, because he was on fire against Crystal Palace. And he picked up a knock and he come off.
Yeah.
But I want to see more of that. He coming against Brighton, he was doing it as well. So I think fry him in there. Just go right. Whether they're playing at right back, they're probably not played a lot of games, and they're going to be either. I reckon I don't know what they're back. I need to look into a bit of research into their defence and see who they're going to bring in. But I don't think it's going to be someone that's played there that often this season, because Matty Cash has been their guy.
Another one I want to ask you, Tony, and if you boys know, and if there's anyone who's watching can tell me as well, is Konsa fit? Who's he play at the back line, Emery, at the moment? Is Konsa fit?
Pau Torres is injured. Tyrone Mings is injured.
Right.
So there's two centre backs, what they normally have. Luca Digne, he plays left back for them, or they play another guy at left back. Anyway, but they basically got two left backs, what they rotate. And then Matty Cash has been the mainstay. And what he does is he normally pushes Konsa over to the right. But obviously, where he's got so many centre backs at, Konsa's got to play in centre back. So he's got issues in the back line. He has got issues. Go on.
That's
Sorry,
what he's
mate.
got to go for. Sorry, mate. Yeah, he's got to attack that, Dave. Yeah, I mean that's a weakness for him.
To be honest, boys, I'll go with what you've got on the screen. But when I said Moreno and like, Trossard or Martinelli for me,
Yeah,
I think I'd may play Trossard from the start, just in my opinion, and keep Martinelli for fresh legs for second half. But that's not to say that if he done it the other way round, I'd be disappointed. But I would be a little bit disappointed if he goes negative and plays Moreno up front. I want him to carry on with Gyökeres. That's what I've been saying.
I think there is going to be a temptation there, isn't there, to take him out the firing line, like Wayne said. I think there will be. Whether that
it's an easy game to do it in, isn't it? And say, look, mate, it's Villa. We need the points, and no one will really say nothing if he drops in for this game. But how does he get back in?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with it, boys. I mean, I get. Listen, Tony will tell you, Dave, and our friend in the chat will tell you about my, should I say, frustration and disdain for Eddie Nketiah, in terms of thinking maybe, that I'm not overly, I wasn't happy with him as a player, but that was after years of watching him and seeing, look, this guy for me, he just wasn't it. I've only seen Gyökeres play for 3-4 months. He's been injured for a month for that. So,
give him a chance.
It's for me. I want to give him a chance, but I would see the thing. As I say, it's and sorry, Tone, and I'll pass the message on. When you got like a Jesus or a Moreno, Jesus won't have that pressing. So while Gyökeres is struggling, he will be able to to occupy them centre halves, to push us further forward, to allow the control. But Moreno would also allow control, and you can hit him on set pieces, especially with big gaps. But the comment in, please, I do not want to butcher your name, so please forgive me. But I'll read this comment out for the boys. Maybe Jesus and Moreno starts up front, and Gyökeres and Havertz both come on in the second half. He has hinted them playing together a couple of times, and that's what I said. I believe, though, mate, sometimes it might be a game you might want to try out that kind of way in a different game. But
I don't
do you
think
boys reckon he might
be.
As I say, we've hinted at it. Like Dave, do you boys think that might be something you'd be interested in?
Mate,
Would you play Jesus?
Inter away is the type of game where them boys are going to be physical, so we could have a chance of playing them two up front. It's a basically, it don't matter win, lose or draw that game. It's a free hit. So there's the sort of game that I may try that for the first time, because obviously Havertz would have had a couple of games by then. He'd be a little bit more up to speed. Gyökeres would have had a couple more games. So you've got more chance of it succeeding if you give it a couple more weeks until you throw them in together, like at the deep end, so to speak.
Thank you for your comment. It's a good, fair point. It's a fair point.
Yeah, we appreciate the comment, matey. Thank you.
I'm just looking at the injuries here. I've got obviously Harvey Elliott is doubtful for them, and he's been picking up a little bit of form, hasn't he, for them recently as well. He's been a bit of a danger man. I think Matty Cash being out, he scored the goal against us. I think he's quite dangerous on that right hand side, because the way we play, where everyone tucks in, that goal. Obviously, Eze should have been tracking back for that goal, but I do think that naturally he's a danger down that side, that right hand side. So I think that's going to be a big miss for them, and Kamara in the midfield as well, because he's quite a powerful lad, isn't he? So.
Well, they have been playing McGinn a little bit further forward as sort of a thing. So they'll drop him back into midfield with Onana, the one that used to play for Everton. The big tall guy. And obviously, then they're going to have to make a choice between Marlon and Watkins up front. So they make.
I was just going to say that, Dave. Who do you think they're going to go with up front? Do you think it's Watkins?
Oh yeah, definitely. They've got to play Watkins now, haven't they? After the couple of games that he's had, Watkins will start that game. I'll be very surprised if they don't start him.
And he's got a good record against us, hasn't he, at the Emirates as well?
Well, he's an Arsenal boy, but he's got a job to do for Aston Villa, and that's the thing. He is an Arsenal fan, and that's why I was kind of, I've alluded to it in the past about bringing him in as kind of a backup, but we've got way too many strikers right now. But we as I say, there's some people arguing about Watkins might have been a better shout than having Gyökeres in, but I think I still believe that there is a point in time where Gyökeres will start banging goals in with a confidence. I still believe that, boys. I can't. What I've seen with my own eyes, I can't believe that boy won't score goals for this football club. But right now, it's just not. It's not clicking. It's not twigging with everybody else, and the wavelengths are all over the place. But right now, boys, I think you got to look at that. As I say, this is what I would play, but I think you could look at him maybe calling Emery's bluff and doing a couple of surprise choices up top. So let's see, boys. Definitely, Jesus doesn't allow you to press and control. He allows you to. He's a release. It'll be a release valve, if they call it, where if the ball, with Gyökeres, the ball doesn't stick. While with Jesus, it will stick, and that's why sometimes I say you could have an opportunity to try Havertz up in the 10 because Havertz will hold it. Even as I say, Ez's control is brilliant. That's why I argue as well. Erdegaard's not going to get dropped, boys, so that's why I put him in. Eze can also hold that ball up there, but support striker role, he's more drifting in from a midfield in a sense. So it's either that's the choice, but he can be a release valve, but he won't pressurise the centre half. So Aston Villa could get some control in the game. I think we have to, in my opinion, try suffocating them, but I think Arteta. Sorry, boys, I'll get my words out in a minute. I think he's going to try something. I've got a sneaky suspicion he might try something a bit different, just for the first half or so. Say, coming in, Emery, what you got, sort of thing. You got your big boy. You'll have Watkins at the top, whatever. I think he's going to try that, boys. That's just a feeling that you get with the game,
Yeah, I mean, we haven't spoken about Rodgers, right? I think Rodgers is a massive danger in this game.
Exactly. So.
He's banged in. He's got in his last 5 Premier League games. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist.
He's got some phenomenal goals as well, mate. And we was also linked with him. Listen, I can beat around the bush. I love Eze. That's the thing. I've loved the way the boy plays. But if you could tell me that there's a world where you could fit an Eze and a Rodgers in the same team, I'd bite your hand off. But it's one or the other for us. But yeah, Rodgers is a boy. He's up and coming, mate, and he can also. He's one of them that can. He's a profile that can play anywhere top that front line, and he wouldn't look out of place at the moment. And he's carrying them at the moment, isn't he, boys? So he's doing. He's banging the vital goals in for him.
He scores goals out of nothing as well.
Yeah,
that's the danger for us. Right, you can have our back
Eze
four.
Can do that, Tony. It's just he's out of form, dude, isn't he? He's out of form.
It only takes him getting the ball on the edge of the box and having that bit of space. I think Raya's saved us points this season, so I fancy him to. I don't think he'd be too busy tomorrow, but I think he'll have to come and make some big saves.
Yeah,
in the game.
It could be, mate. Listen, it could be vital. It could be a vital thing, boys. But with that back line, I'll be more confident in dealing with them. But it's obviously vitally important that we do not allow. But I think Arteta might try to play a bit of a risky game, boys, and change the strategy in the second half to try and, because the one thing you don't want to do is look what if we do what we've been doing against Wolves and Brighton. We got away with it at Wolves. We all know that. We've had our say. At Brighton, we were comfortable. We were in control. Ball ricochets, bang, it's 2-1. We can't allow that to happen against this Villa side because they will get back into the game.
Well, you could probably argue to say we got away with it against Brighton as well. That's why I pulls off that save.
That looked in. I thought it was in.
Yeah, I did as well.
That was a world-class save. That boy, have a look at that boy, that ball up and over round. It was a fantastic crack, and he's thinking it's in. I thought it was in. But yeah, listen, we got away with one because our keeper pulls off a worldie. We can't allow that, boys, against this team because they will put the ball in the back of the net.
I see some analysis, boys. For Brighton's goal, where the guy strikes it and it hits the post. If you actually watch it, if that's on target, Raya saves that ball and that ball don't go in. Yeah. But because it's off target and it's on the post, he can't cover the post width as well with his dive. Yeah. So his fingertips is covering the corner of the goal and the side netting up to the post. But yeah, so where it's hit the post and it's flicked out to the Raya would have saved that ball and it would have pushed out to Rice or somewhere else. So it's just that it was lucky that it wasn't on target, but unlucky because it was off target where our goalie couldn't save it. So that was a bit weird. Where I see the angle of it and all that, and yeah, it was weird. Like how good the guy is. The geezer's unbelievable, isn't he?
Yeah.
Where do we win this game, boys? How do we win this game?
Yeah, go on,
midfield.
Yeah, it's definitely. I agree.
Keep Rodgers, and you know what I would do. You know
Gotta
when you
keep him
said
quiet.
you'd flip. Yeah, you'd flip a little side plan on this one. I'd keep Rice. I'd keep Rice on the sort of man-to-man thing when we ain't got the ball onto Rodgers. And the reason why I wouldn't put Zubimendi, because I want Zubimendi to be the release valve when we do get the ball back. So I want him to be in the positions to take the ball and to progress us up the field. So I would almost say to Rice, I'm willing to just sacrifice you a little bit on the attacking third when we haven't got the balls, just keep an eye on this bloke for us, because we know you're a world-class number 6. There probably ain't many better at number 6 than him, so keep an eye just on Rodgers a little bit for us. And then when we get the ball, right, I want you to hit a 40-yard diagonal, cross over to Saga, and then on we go, play from a little bit deeper in this game for Rice, for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, mate. I mean, listen, that's one thing. I mean, the engine on that boy, I mean, is phenomenal. And that's why, as well, someone said, I think, and I think you pass it over to you, Tone, now. But Arteta said in his press conference leading up to the game, he said in January, he said obviously, if availability and players, he said you have to be in it. So do you reckon we will? I mean, personally, for me, before I pass it over to you, I think that a player with significant quality that can cover the 6 and 8, I think it's vital for the rest of the season. Especially with Rice, as we've said before, Rice and Zubimendi are vitally important in that midfield, and I think we need. I think we need to do that personally.
I think he's made it very clear that he don't trust Norgard in any of these games.
Not in the big games, Tone. No.
So the question sort of remains: then why did you bring him in? If you could have gone and got another
Anderson,
right?
Anderson.
Yeah, why bring him in?
Let's not do it, Dave.
It's not like
Anderson, big style, Tone. Would listen? I don't think it'll happen, unfortunately. But yeah,
he's got a lot of legs.
He would be a phenomenal signing, Tone. I think Anderson. I mean, listen,
I don't think we do anything in January. I don't think
nothing big. I don't think, but
maybe
I don't think we do
loan.
But that's a great shout, Dave. It's a great shout, but I think that has to be priority. And obviously, as well, hopefully, if Benny White or Mosquera might have till the middle of January and he's back. But I think it's vitally important as well. We get a player that you trust. Norgard was there, I think, in terms of just an opportunity. And it was we needed someone for the Jorginho role, which was to play minimum. Like Jorginho didn't really relieve Partey or Rice much last year, did he? Because Partey and Rice was his midfield duo. So he wanted to have sort of like Norgard as that Jorginho role. But you need to have someone, in my opinion, that he trusts, and they should. But could cost a lot of money, boys, and I don't know if we'll do that.
That comment. Do you think Villa are gonna be open tomorrow? I don't think they will be, mate. Thank you for your comment. I think they're gonna sit in because everyone at the Emirates seems to sit in.
Counter attack.
And play on the counter attack, and they've done that against Chelsea.
Transit. What it is. Thanks again for the comment, and I think it's as I said to you earlier, boys. I think they'll play. He'll play on transitions. That's Emery's game. Do you know what I mean? He's got the players that can do that, and Watkins maybe early 30s, but he's 30. He's what the boy's 30. He's still got it in the legs. They will happy to soak up pressure and hit on the counter if we're not careful. I don't think it will be open as such. I think what we've alluded to, and that Dave and Tony's have mentioned, matey, is that they will be weaker in defence. So that's where I think we can get them. I think, as I say, it's vitally important, boys. We do, but I think they will sit in and hit on transitions. If they're struggling to get, if it's 1-0 at half time, we're doing well. I wouldn't get overly confident because I think this Villa side will come back at you. If you're 1-0 at half time, you've got to get at them in the second half and get a second goal to stop any disappointment, because I think these boys are more than capable lately of coming back into it, and Emery has that thing about him, boys. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it'll be an open game. I think he'll play that game.
Yeah.
With us
why
as well.
Why does Emery seem to have Arteta's number in these
exactly?
Fixtures? Every single fixture we've had Aston Villa. Dave, jump in on this, mate, if you want. Tactically, I always think Emery's. But then, do you think that's because Emery's more experienced? Do you think Emery's a better manager? We've had this discussion on a few podcasts as well. Yeah. Is he the better manager than Arteta?
At the moment, yeah. Is he a better off manager? Is he right? Better way to put it, in my way of thinking, Is Unai Emery's CV better than Arteta's? Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's a better Premier League manager? No, not necessarily, because Unai Emery's qualified for the Champions League, but he's also missed out on the Champions League last season with Villa. It was nailed on. They only had to beat a failing Man United, Man United were resting all their squad because they had UEFA Cup game against Tottenham. So really, Villa should have wiped the floor with them. Their heads, Man U's heads weren't even in that game. And he also done the same to us when we played Chelsea. And then we also played Chelsea again, and then we didn't qualify again. So to the answer of your question is, he tactically, he may have Arteta's number because his tactics like nullifies Arteta's tactics in a way, you know. That's you just find like what's they say in boxing, styles make fights, don't they? So you might find that these two styles just literally they sort of knock each other on the head, and then it just becomes a dull game. When you think about it, all the games that we have played, there ain't been many goals in these games, have there? Look at the time. Was it Jorginho? Was it Jorginho when he hit the ball and he hit the post and hit the back of
Martinez?
And when 4-2. How bittersweet was that moment? But yeah, you know what I mean. And then I think Unai Emery's tactics may be slightly better. Maybe he may be a slight better than Arteta at the moment. But as soon as Arteta wins one of the big ones, he surpasses him anyway, doesn't he? Really.
Yeah, I mean, it is one, Dave, and I think I'll have to thoroughly agree with it. And this is
read it out, mate.
And I'll read it out to you, boys. But this is a great comment, and it's one I do actually I thoroughly agree with. I don't feel he's a better manager, but what Emery has is his quick fire fixes. Arteta, keeps doing the same thing, hoping to go through. Emery switches tactics 2-3 times per match, and that's right because listen, that won the game, and this is what I'm saying, boys. Like, if it's not working tomorrow, right, and he's gone with this lineup, maybe one or two changes, maybe Trossard for Martinelli, right? But we all know with Erdegaard's performance, he's playing. He's his number 10, yeah? He's got his base, he's happy with that. Is he willing to, if Martinelli ain't playing well, if Saka ain't playing well, I mean, Gyökeres may struggle again as per usual because the boy's not got the confidence, you know, and does he go? Because listen, you can have either Rice or Subamendi in that team sitting at the base of that midfield. As he got the balls to go, right, okay, I've got to take one of these boys off. Do I get rid of my controller or do I get rid of my physical up and down the pitch, sit at the base number 6 with Declan Rice? Because Declan Rice can play number 6 when you need him to, but his game is developed into a world class number 8. But he's all over the pitch. He has to be willing, boys. In my opinion, if you've got a Havertz, Jesus, Madueke, Eza, and again you'll have, if it's Trossard, Martinelli, there's 5 attacking subs, right? He puts Martinelli on because Sam made a good point, boys, and whether you agree with it or not, and I did say to you, he trusts Martinelli to be on the defensive side of the game. Yep. So is it right? But what happens if Martinelli, he plays that exact 11? Who's he going to bring on between Trossard, Eza, and Madueke? If it's 1-0 or whatever, who's he going to bring on out of them 3?
Trossard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what the point he's making, and I thoroughly agree with it. Take a risk. I've said it before. I say it again. We're not Premier League managers. We're supporters that watch the football club week in, week out. He knows we get that. But when you see it and you go to yourself, just take a risk every now and then, Mikel. And that's what he's saying. Emery, it might fail for him, but he will try to change it, boys. Oh, that's wrong sub. I'll make another sub here. And that could be the difference. Arteta is so rigid in the way he sets things up that he needs to change that. And that's vitally important. He starts learning that because it could make or break the season. And then tomorrow is vitally important, boys. We have to lay a marker down.
That might just show that where he's experienced, though, like what we were saying, where Unai Emery can see it just that little bit quicker, or he knows what he's got to do to rectify it. Maybe Arteta's thinking, if I make this one move, it's going to have a butterfly effect and counteract it and have a negative reaction on the other side of things. So it's tomato, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's how you want to put it. You know.
Yeah.
The problem that we've got, right? The problem that we've got, I feel like with with Arteta,
yeah, they are. Sorry, Tone. Just
I feel all pep students are a little. Yeah, they are. They are, matey.
One way.
I wouldn't argue if Arteta comes out tomorrow and the formation's been tweaked. You know, like he'll put Zoom-Menu on his own or something, sitting in front of the back four, and Rice is more advanced, or you know, Odegaard is you know, or he's gone with Odegaard and Eze in the same team. Doing, he doesn't.
That's a good risk, though, Tone. I'd be happy with that. Mate.
That's an acceptable risk, right? Or even if he does drop Gyökeres and plays Jesus can shift over to the left. Mane can play through the middle. You got more, like you see against Brighton. I must admit that was more fluid. The football was quicker when we was doing that.
He likes Martinelli through the middle, doesn't he?
I've been saying that for ages.
No, mate,
I think he can play.
Mate.
Martinelli through the middle.
Yeah. No, honestly,
Christmas present for you.
I think, yeah, but I got backed up on the last stream. A few people actually agree with that.
It's not
a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
If he goes with it, boys, at least you know that we're, you know, problem is with Gyökeres, he's going to be number 9. He's going to stand in that position. He'll get marked out of the game, right? And the thing is as well, we don't want Gyökeres to drift over to the wings and get the ball, because that's not what number 9 should do. But I think in certain games, this sort of game, you're going to have, because their defense is quite weak, they've got a few injuries, they're going to be quite strict. They're not going to, they're literally going to hold a bank of 4. Maybe they'll have 2 holding midfielders that will sit in front of that back 4. Rodders will do his thing, and Watkins, and their 2 wingers, right? But with Jesus, Martinelli, what I'm finding with them, they're offering something completely different. They're not staying in one position. Jesus will go out left, Martinelli will go through the middle. Where Martinelli ain't got the ball, and I noticed the pressing with Martinelli was a lot quicker, you know, and he's forcing more errors. Not saying Gyökeres don't do that; he does work hard, but I just think that if he does go that tomorrow, he's doing that for a bit of speed, right? And he might bring Gyökeres. You might find that Gyökeres might benefit from that in the second half.
Yeah.
It can he might nick a goal because they've absolutely run that defense ragged to the point where they can come off, Trossard can come on, Gyökeres can come on, and we close the game out. That could be a reverse tactic.
Yeah, the thing with Martinelli, boys, is and why for me at the moment, it's just I just think he gets sort of shoved off the ball too easy. He's not upper body strength. Gyökeres, a few times he has been. I think myself, you're a fucking strong lad, and my friend. Sorry, guys, you're a strong lad. You should be bundled off the ball. That could be a good one in terms of that. In terms of their sort of like switching of play tone as well. I get where you're coming from. You know, and I think, as you say, it could be. Listen, you know, Martinelli is favoured for his engine tone.
Well, in that comment, I get that point that they're not going to give us space in behind. But what I'm getting at is Martinelli got on the end of a few crosses against Brighton because his movement was pretty slick, and so did unfortunately Jesus against Palace. How many headers did he get, and how many, you know? The movement was pretty good from both. So imagine them interchanging on left and centre forward, the floating 9, along with, you know, Odegaard. I think Odegaard trusts Jesus and Martinelli more to play them little dink passes because they make them sort of runs. I think as Gyökeres is trying to find that click with Saka, and I think this might be an option for him. And then later on, change it, bring Gyökeres on to.
What I'm going to do as well, Tone, I agree with you. I've just read the.
It's a good headache to have, though. He's got loads of players fit now, which is good. Also, as well, Madueke, boys. No one's mentioned Madueke. He could do a job in this game. Like, Saka been that good for him not to get dropped?
Let's not talk about him because I think he should, mate. I think he's done. The problem is, and I've just on that commenter because I got the name now. Is it Ojaz for Pandy? And please apologise again because if you're commenting a lot and we do appreciate it, so we'd like to make sure we address you as well. But you're right, mate. Some things though, you know, again, it's on game stakes. It's how, and like Dave alluded to, you could end up having a Moreno and a Trossard. What it is, boys, is he doesn't veer away from what he trusts. Madueke is a phenomenal footballer. His finishing ability is what lets him down at times. He can take a man on. I love his directness and the way he was taking players on, you know, but he doesn't trust him in the defensive phase of the game. So he trusts Martinelli, he trusts Trossard. You know, so this is the problem. And what you're saying, Tone, is right. You do be unpredictable up top just for the first 50, 60 minutes. And if it don't work, but I'd still like to say, I don't think they've been that bad to not warrant coming on the pitch, boys. Eze and Madueke, I mean. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they've been that bad. They should get, in my opinion, they should get an opportunity to show what they can do. You know.
Anyway, what do you think of this comment, mate? Welcome
Yeah,
to the channel, buddy. I think you've come on before.
thanks for-
Welcome back. I think I've seen your name before. Yeah. York reminds me of a Troy Deeney. Championship is probably his level. Good thing we didn't overpay. If you world class striker, you.
He just
Gonna upset Wayne, mate. Gonna upset Wayne.
Listen, no, thanks for your comment. Listen, mate. This was one thing that overhanging of. Well, listen, we appreciate the comment. I get what you're saying. The problem, he was scoring. He banged in, I think, 40-something goals in the last 2 seasons for Coventry. Went to Sporting, and whether it's the same level as Championship is whether to be seen. You got Benfica, you got Porto. You know, maybe that's sort of like about it. You know, he was banging goals in, but he did score a few goals against Porto and Benfica. But people were saying he was stack padding. My worry was that I get what you're saying. I still think though that if he's moulded in the right way, he can still do a job for you. He was never going to be elite, and I wouldn't even argue the point. He was, but how he was playing at Sporting is what I was hoping would transition a little bit towards us. It hasn't. But yeah, no, thank you for the comment. I get what you're saying. That's my hope is that isn't the case. I think, you know, you'd hope playing with better players could kind of improve him a bit. But I think he's got a bit of hunger about him. That's the difference. His mentality, he's got better mentality than Troy Deeney. I can assure you that, mate. So
maybe we should send him out on loan to Coventry.
You know. Well, there is, yeah.
With Ranieri. Send him with Ranieri, eh, Dave?
Don't diss Coventry, mate. They play some good ball.
No,
yeah,
they'll be in the Prem next season anyway.
Read this one out, mate.
Panda, yeah, thank you for your. He's been on form tonight. Thank you for your comments. Madueke is great and all, but when we get a Saka, his end product. Saka was average against Brighton, but still got 1 assist and created the chance for Martinelli. Madueke might not. That's it. No, I agree with that, and I said that on another stream about Madueke. The reason why Arteta does leave Saka on the pitch because he does create moments, and I think he could be
He's
shit.
a moment's bad time.
And he'll give you on the 82nd minute. He'll give you a blinding cross that is a tap in for Trossard, or you know, he done it against Chelsea. Do you remember that game against Chelsea where we were 1-0 down, and I think it was 2-2 in the end, where he was absolutely dog shit the whole game, but he set up 2 goals. Trossard back post twice, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, listen, that's it. I mean, it's so tough. Like as you say, you was very vocal in the chat, and there's a few times as well where obviously you have corrected yourself. I think it's harsh on Noni in terms of the fact that you are challenging with Saka. Fair play to him for coming, and as you say though, it's where do you play him? Where does he fit in? Because right now,
on the left, is he? He's not a left winger.
He's not a left winger. He can play there, but he's not a left winger. But he trusts Trossard. He's fully fit now. He trusts Martinelli. He's fully fit there. He's played Eze there. And I keep beating around the bush. And what Jazzfo Panda again? I said, trying not to. I'm trying to get your name right, my friend, because you've been commenting and been on top form tonight. In plan Eze there. And I know you boys, you wanted him in the 10 tone, but I think at times as well, it can prosper. If he's not got, he needs a free role, and at times you do also as well. If you've got Erdegaard, who we're not going to argue with, can control a game. He needs them for that movement further forward. You know what I mean? And then he can join. He can, it could be an idea, but again, my point being is. You can't. Can you take Saka off if he's been dog shit, like you've just said, Tone? 82nd minute, boy can pull it out of his hat, and it's such. And you can imagine that the headache it gives Mikel to have Noni on the bench, and he.
Oh, nice. Well done, Wayne. Yeah.
Thank you again. Thank you, mate. We will continue to do it, but we really do appreciate the comments, my friend. And I don't want to offend anyone. We want to make sure that we acknowledging the fact that you're joining in. We do appreciate the comment as well. The comments, keep them coming.
Yeah.
Cool. Tomorrow's look. We haven't got it that bad in the sense that we've got options, right? He's got options, but the problem is with Arteta, he doesn't use his options. I don't think he tried. I don't know. I don't think he trusts Eze. And since that game against Villa, really, Eze has not really featured, has he?
He's
in the cup.
Tony's upsetting.
What I was going to say, boys, we've still look. at the end of the day, we're still in all the competitions. We've still got a lot of games to come.
Of course,
You know,
Dave, yeah.
these players that are on the bench, they've got to earn the right to get into the first team, haven't they? Obviously,
Yeah.
Arteta's got his favourites, the guys that have been there for over the years and got him to where he's got to, and all that, you know. So the guys that he's just brought in, you've got to do something above and beyond, didn't you, to get in the team and stay in the team. Now, obviously, Mudweke's last game, I think he had a few chances, but then the game before that, that was when he scored in the Champions League for us or whatever, wasn't it? Yeah. So, but then, like Eze, everyone's saying, well, Eze this, Eze's that. All right, but the hat-trick against Spurs, wonderful. But then the next two performances after that, he never really produced much. So you can't really blame Arteta for bringing him out of the line and putting Odegaard in. Odegaard's last game was, probably his man of the match in that game for us. You know,
that goal he scored, I want to see more of that. That drop the shoulder.
We've argued that, Tone.
Give the keeper the eyes. He hasn't done that in the last 2 years. He's done it. I want to see more of that.
Not enough. He ain't done
wants to see more.
Just think it's come out. It's almost roles reversed this season in terms of we was beating the top 4 or 5 clubs. We struggled against this year. I think there's chance to get against Villa to get a result. They got
agree,
injured.
mate. Agree 100%.
We've got to go and smash them. We've got to go at home. We've got to start early. We've got to do something we haven't done in about 10 games, which is get an early goal. Get an early goal. First 10 minutes, get an early goal. Right? Don't let them shut the crowd up. Don't let them shut the Emirates up. Yeah. Because the worst thing they will do is like Martinelli's gonna slow the ball down. Whenever he gets a goal kick, he's gonna frustrate the shit out of us. Right? It's gonna be a really hot. As I said, 20 minutes, guys, and it's 0-0. The crowd are gonna start getting anxious. It's gonna be one of them games tomorrow where, because we're so desperate to win it, it's gonna be a difficult one, and it's gonna be a hard watch. I think tomorrow. I think it's probably like every game this season's big, right? But I think this is probably our biggest game of the season, because I think what this does, Aston Villa think they're title contenders right now, and this is our opportunity to go, no, you want to be with the big boys, we're going to wipe the floor with you, right? You know, we go and lose this game, touch wood, I generally think it's a dent in our title hopes. It doesn't mean it's over, but it just means that that's going to be crushing. And if I'm Arteta, I'm showing them that video of them scoring that last minute goal before they go out on that pitch. I'm going, look at that. Look at you on the floor. Look at that moment. Look what they've done to you. Go out there and fucking kill them. Go out there and hurt them. Go out there and absolutely annihilate them. We've got the ability to do it. We've got the players there to do it. We just aren't killing teams off, and we aren't battering teams. So like, tomorrow needs to be a battering. Right? It puts the jitters up Man City for their next game. Go, actually, they're picking up form now. And I think what's giving City hope is the fact that City are on form. We're scraping by, right? They'll watch the media. They know what's going on, right? We're scraping by. We're getting this own goal jokes being floating around.
Top scorer for December.
Exactly. Yeah, 4 goals. I think Haaland's got 4, and we've got 4 own goals. I think there's been.
He's a good signing, mate. Own goal is brilliant. It's a brilliant signing.
And we got him for free as well. Fucking hell, mate. That's good business. But no, look, all jokes aside, tomorrow's a marker. It has to be. I don't know how, as a footballer, how. I'm going to the ground and I'm up for it. I'm going to have no voice because I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be up for it when we get them behind the players. But they've got to reciprocate. They've got to go out of that tunnel, and as soon as that whistle goes, we've got to do something we haven't done. Start fucking out. Don't slowly move the ball around and ask them to get back into their shape. Make them wobble from the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. You know? 100%. I mean, Jasper Pandy as well has just said and made a good point, and that's because obviously the trust of it of Gabriel Saliba, Saka, they will suffer. And you're right, mate. I mean, there's plenty of games like Dave said. And one thing I want to reiterate, boys, and I spit my words out correctly, and use the Queen's English, now the King's English.
No, don't use his English.
You know, I don't use his English at all, Dave. No, I'll stick to the Queen. I think, and listen, this is a Gooner of 33 years saying, I'm not a bloody mystic Gooner. You know what I mean? This is the Gooner booth. We're just, it's opinions. I think we're due a battering of someone. I believe personally the way we are playing, that we will go out and absolutely batter someone.
I'd
And
love
batter
it if
someone,
we beat them. I'd love it.
You,
Who said that?
you know, but
Who
I
said
know
that? And
exactly.
then go and
Yeah.
play Sunderland, and I'd love it if we beat them.
I'd love it, but I really
Kevin
do.
Keegan, isn't it? Newcastle.
Yeah.
Kevin Key. I mean, that's one thing. You know, I mean, he absolutely lost it, didn't he? But you know,
mate, that's funny. That
was.
You'll never
childish
see that
and
from a manager again, by the way. I don't think.
No,
they're
I was 9 years old, and I remember it. Nine at that
too
time.
political, isn't it? In the
9 years
interviews.
old. God, that makes me feel old. Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that's it, boy. And what I agree with everything that's said, and the commentators as well. Commenters, sorry, bloody commentators. It's a long day, boy. I just do believe. I'm not saying this tomorrow, but I think that we're more than capable. It's stringing it all together. But someone's going to get a battering very, very shortly from this football club, because the way it's against Brighton. You know, it was coming. You know, again, it's that consistent. You know, that control. But the problem with us, we've had control without that attacking edge. You know, and against Villa Park, you watch it back. We had control of the game. We didn't have the attacking edge.
I think
That's what's going to be the difference.
I think. Sorry to interrupt you, Wayne.
No, mate. It's your.
I heard a stat, mate, that we'd had 46 shots or something like that in the last 3 games, and only scored so many goals. Like,
Exactly.
and our shots on target hadn't been good. So basically, just to emphasise your point, we start getting them on target. We start being clinical with these chances. We're gonna put a few goals in one game, aren't we? So I do generally believe it's coming. I think it's coming.
Dave, look at it this way as well. Martinelli puts that in the roof of the net.
3-1.
Tony will be sort of like overly excitable child. Martinelli for me and you will have to be trying to bring him down to earth, because he'll be floating off of the stream.
Yeah.
And again, boys, we do
number 9 for Brazil.
Watch Martinelli for the middle, boys.
We love Martinelli,
but
listen, he should have put that ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, he should have.
It's that finishing. Gyökeres, the ball at the back post where it should have been a header. It was clipped off his head by Saliba, but still, he should anticipate more. If he anticipates that, it's bang, it's a goal.
But
listen, boys,
if Gyökeres
find the
beats him,
details. Find the details.
If he gets in front of his man, Saka whips it in early, Gyökeres scores. He's got the finishing ability. Right?
Gyökeres can be, with Trossard, one of the best finishers at the club zone. It's just getting him in the position and him getting himself in there. His confidence is shot. I love. I say the Troy Deeney comment was funny. I still believe he's a much better footballer than him.
Come on.
I think he's a different level than Troy Deeney, but I
think Troy Deeney
that was cold.
But you know, in all due respect to Troy Deeney, he was an absolute unit. I think Gyökeres has a bit more about him. But it's him getting that confidence. But listen, main thing, boys, my takeaway to you tomorrow is if we're going to batter them 3-0, it'll be phenomenal. Anymore, but I'm just saying, I do believe once everyone's back, this team, it's just little bits, little things, and they will. Once they go, we will go. You know,
City can't play much better than this, and we ain't.
City,
we ain't
exactly, Dave.
4th gear, 5th gear. They're in 5th gear now, mate.
Yeah.
They ain't had their blip for the season yet, in my opinion.
No.
And they've got our January coming up. Our January, I think we've got Chelsea, Man United in the next couple of games. But then after that, we start going all down to the lower.
I mean, our January isn't looking too great, mate. We've got Liverpool at home.
No, that's what. And then I think we've got Man United and Chelsea. So I think
what Dave's saying is it doesn't plateau. Well, Dave got the tougher games. Our games will go a little bit sort of,
exactly that. So then just if we can keep on this straight and narrow and keep on just churning these results out.
Churn the results over. Churn the 3 points.
Once we click, we're gonna bash some teams up, mate.
Do you remember as well? I want to put you two-tone. Sorry, mate. Sorry, keep that thought that you're going to say, but I want to believe it. When Havertz was struggling at left, because everyone thought, right, we've signed him as a left centre midfielder. When Havertz came into the team as a false 9 in the role that he was occupying before his injury, we went on a run that season, and we were that season. What is it? Was it the season that I think it was the season where Man City
2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago, and we went on a run of like 14 wins or something silly like that. We won. We were battering teams, right? Yeah. And Man City pipped us because we slipped up at Villa at the back end of it in April. Yes. We've got Villa now, boys, in December, right?
Yeah.
Go out there, get the win, and then go on one of them runs. You're gonna have the double legger against Chelsea, but if we've got the likes of Havertz, Jesus there, Eza, Madueke. I
There
only
you go.
worry about the midfield, boys. I worry about the midfield because, again, I think obviously Norgard and Moreno wouldn't give me the massive amount of sort of like confidence. Again, though, who do you sign to raise that level? But
whilst you're
we'll
on
have
that
the
way,
players.
I hope he doesn't play Havertz in at number 8 role again, because that didn't work when we first signed
No,
him.
Tone, what I'm saying, what he was trying to interpret that, which I get 100%, mate. He's
When
not a
he
left
first
central
signed
midfielder.
him.
I think what he was trying to do, incorporate it in, which it wasn't quite working, was that support striker kind of way to be behind the main man. And it wasn't working with Jesus. It wasn't working with Eddie Nketiah. So this is why you're hoping there that he can forge something with Gyökeres, because if you see him in there, it's because Arteta's trying to have him in a hybrid left centre mid support striker role. So he advances in, and it failed. And I'm with you, 100%. It failed. But let's hope that a player like Gyökeres could kind of unlock that again. So I wouldn't be worried this time if he did that, because he does the same with Eza, and he wants Eza as well. He's a left centre midfielder, attacking the space and the support striker. You know, it could work, Bones. But let's see. There's options now. Just whatever you do, if you've got to do voodoo, if you've got to pray to whoever you want to pray to, we just need to keep these players fit and keep them,
if we beat Villa, I think we're going to run a form.
Confidence Bones.
Who we got after Villa? I think Bournemouth, is it?
It's Bournemouth away, which again we lost, and we had Saliba got that sending off.
It's not an easy game.
What's his name was on the phone? Do you remember, boys?
Howard went.
PGMO.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
You've got to send him off. You've got to send him off.
Oh, did you see Man City's geezer? He should have got a red card, shouldn't he?
Did you see? Have you also seen as well that Nottingham Forest have complained about it? It's not going to do much because PGMO, but this is the frustration, boys. He should have been off. It's simple as that.
He didn't directly stop the goal scoring chance, but he stopped the goal scoring.
Exactly. He denied the goal scoring opportunity.
Gives White, and he plays it in the centre. It's a free shot.
It's a yellow card, isn't it, Dave? In the letter of
yellow card all day
and it's the second one.
And then when you look at Gyökeres' one, Gyökeres tackle by the goalie, that should have been a red card as well. Because it wasn't a goal scoring opportunity, he went in with excessive force and never got nowhere near the ball. So that one should have been a red card.
Gyökeres being a unit,
we're not getting the rubber to green with the decisions either.
Not at all.
Penalties have gone against us this
also,
season
what?
As well.
That I know. I've been looking. Get your thoughts on this, gents, because on X I see the replay again. Jesus against Brighton literally had a tap him with his head, and he got nudged in the back.
That's
right?
a foul, Tone.
That's a foul. In the middle of the park, that's a foul, right? Why is that not a penalty? And I look at the comment. Everyone's going, oh well, because we're not playing in.
Well, Gyökeres got one as well, didn't he? When the geezer pushed him over.
Gyökeres pushed him. Gyökeres got a push
against Everton. That one, them ones. I think. It don't look great when your striker just like sort of goes flying, you know. And
no, but at the same time,
you're not
Jesus, I think that one was more of a penalty shot than the Gyökeres one, because Gyökeres has made a mill of that and just fell over.
Yeah, Gyökeres is the way Gyökeres went down.
Jesus literally set himself to hit it, and he's literally the guy has momentum. He's running backwards. His momentum's all he's done is put his arm up and just pushed him over.
Yeah,
and up on the pitch, that's a free kick all day long. Right, so
you've unbalanced your opponent, and he's done it in the box. Before we sort of, listen, boys, we can, and I can start rolling out the stuff that's gone against us in that kind of foul, but we'll be here all night. Retroholic Gamer says, boys, with if Havertz is fit, you put him back in the squad. He had 20 goals, assists last year before his injury in all comps. Which this is one of them where it adds to it. People are saying. I mean, there's so many options. Do you drop Gyökeres, put Kai back in? But you can argue that at number 9. But I will again, till I'm blue in the face, say to you, there's different ways you can play support striker. I would love to see Havertz and Eza together behind Gyökeres with Saka. That would be phenomenal, in my opinion.
The one thing I'd say to that, right? It's a very, very interesting comment, a very good comment. Thank you.
And thank you, Retro. Yeah. We appreciate that, mate. It's
if Gyökeres starts tomorrow, if Gyökeres starts tomorrow, if he plays badly and he doesn't play well, he's on the bench for the rest of the season.
Well, yeah.
I'd say by the cup games. By the cup games.
He won't get a look in. I promise you that.
Then that's his beef. He ain't performing.
So if you're Gyökeres and you're on that team sheet tomorrow, you've got to be.
Tomorrow, Tone, is his night. You're
Yeah.
right,
He's got to
100%.
be on it tomorrow. He's got to be on
He
it.
has got to be on it, boys.
And then
He's got
listen,
to
there's
be
no
on it.
good Saka running in, keep shooting from 5 yards where he can
He's-
square the ball either. Because them
Yeah.
two, listen, I've seen Saka do this again. I've watched the replays again. There's one
Yeah.
or two times where Saka's run through and he can lay Gyökeres right.
He
I
can.
do understand, Tone. There was a couple of times when Gyökeres has
Wasn't
stood
making
still.
the movement.
Yeah, he stepped back and Saka's gone.
Yeah.
gone
I've
from-
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's other times when Gyökeres has made the run and then he's played it back. So as we've said before, them two are not linking up, like i.e. because the rest of them have been playing together for a long time, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like what we were saying on the
for
previous
that
three-way.
opinion, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
without
Arteta won't
opening
see it
up
that way,
old
mate.
wounds,
Arteta won't
know.
see it that way. He won't see it that way.
No, I mean another one as well. Jazz for Pandy has said, and again, mate, yeah, it's a very good point. And what I'm saying is, again, it could be a case
Saying
of
off now, isn't you? Because you know it's the right name, isn't you?
that's it. You see, I'm done with it. No, you know, you want to sort of like no, you know, because you're trying to see the name, and because I've got it on the phone, it's quite small. But yeah, what he's saying here, boys, again, is like, would you drop Subamendi? Problem is exactly right. I know what you're saying. Erdegaard, you won't drop him. It could just be certain game states. So I would say that this is where you could, if Havertz comes back, maybe Arteta, and whether you boys agree with me, maybe Arteta won't see it that we might need another midfielder, because he could say, right, Rice, you're sitting at 6 today because I want to do Havertz, Erdegaard behind my striker, behind Gyökeres, and if they're playing a low block, so he might go right, and he might choose between Rice and Subamendi
that day. Yeah,
that's you, as I say, for how he sets up right now, but he's also got to be flexible in how he plays. And I think maybe he might go, look, I've got Havertz back now. Eze can do that role. There might be games against like a Sunderland, you know, when Everton come to the Emirates, you know, different, all these teams, there's, you know, that bottom half of team, he might go, actually, you know what, I don't need both Rice and Subamendi here today. And he might do that. So I'm not saying to drop any one of them two, because they've both been brilliant this season. I'm just saying he might look to drop one of them back and have two advanced midfielders, as you call it.
Yeah.
Cool. Predictions, gents.
Go on, Dave. Go on, matey.
Right. Do I think we're going to give him a slap in? Yeah, I do. But I think 3-1. 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1.
Yeah, you bastard.
I've been saying it.
I was going to say that.
One of them's got to connect
3-1,
sooner
yeah.
or later, innit? Do you know what I mean?
3-1.
I just want to God's honest truth say to you right now. I mean, I'm not a religious man, but I just want to say to you, hand on heart, I was thinking 3-0 or 3-1, and I'm going to side with you, Dave, with the 3-1.
Go on, let's hope it's right. Come on.
I still think with Big Gabs offers you that security and the offensive from the corner, but I still think there could be a little bit of rustiness, and I think we might allow a Rodgers or a Watkins to get a goal. But I think we can get 3 goals tomorrow, Dave. I'm with you.
Sorry,
I believe
boys.
that,
Just a quick one to add in. I know I'm really sorry. Is Villa have scored the most goals from outside the box? I think 44% of their goals have been scored from outside
Rodgers
the
has
box.
scored
mate.
Yeah, so this is where we've got. Don't be sitting back off of them outside the box, as they will shoot. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, boys.
No, it's not an interruption at all. Quickly there, Tone, because I'm gonna hand this to you, and then you can get your predictions in, because we've had another one from.
Go on, mate, read it out, and I'll
read it to you. You answer and give us your prediction. But he says, will there be times we play a back three, then Zubi, Kai, Odie, and Rice all play?
Oh, not with this manager.
No.
I don't think we will, my friend. I get where you're coming from.
Tomorrow it'll be more about defending first, then winning the result, then winning the game. We'll be looking to lock it up first before attacking. So is that welcome to the show, mate. Is that 2-1 Aston Villa you're going for?
Yeah, I think he's saying we're 2-1 to them.
Wow.
1-2.
Wow.
Listen, it could be a dangerous one. Listen, Tone, give us your prediction, but I think what he's saying is the only concern. I believe that we can, but if he plays a certain way and we play like we have against Brighton and Wolves, that Aston Villa are more than capable of doing that. But thanks for joining the channel and the comment. Go on, Tone. Sorry, my friend. Give us your prediction, mate.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I'm going to go reverse of the
You're going to reverse that one. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a cagey game. I think there's going to be a lot of controversial stuff happening in the game. I think they're going to frustrate. We need an early goal. if we get an early goal, I reckon 2-0. I reckon we'll close that out. I think I'm more confident with Gabs and Saliba. I might even go Gabs to score another tomorrow on the old betting.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Before we go, guys, me and Tony and Dave, we appreciate the comments. Please, while you're commenting on the live stream, these videos, Tony sends them out. You can follow the Gooner Booth as well on TikTok as well. We'll any kind of match preview to lead up to it. Comment on there, comment on here. Please keep the conversation going after these videos have come out, and we will respond. Me, Tony, will respond to it. But we appreciate it tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. Please keep the comments coming, guys. It's been phenomenal. And Tony, lead this last one, mate. Give it to Dave, and we'll let everybody kind of get back to bed.
Arsenal win 2-0. If our starting back four are there, otherwise 2-1. The last time we lost, our back four was makeshift. Exactly, Aston Villa. Yeah,
right. 100% right. 100%
correct.
Yeah. But guys, there's a few of you watching. We are 4 away from our target of 300. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. I'll be at the game tomorrow, so there'll be a reaction video. Putting me standing in the cold, freezing me absolute cods off.
And me and Dave will keep him there for 45 minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So make sure you get loads of comments.
Wrap up warm tone.
Enjoy
the game. Enjoy the atmosphere, mate. I think it's going to be a very good atmosphere at that stadium.
I reckon you've picked a good one there.
You picked a good one there. Come on, the boys. I love a night at the Emirates, mate. So you enjoy your game on night. One of them nights under the lights. This is what we want. Make it a good one. 3 goals, Arsenal. Any more? Absolutely fantastic. But come on, you Gunners. Let's do this.
Cool. Take care, guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks for joining, guys.